Ladies and gents, welcome back. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about some things, shall we, guys? When you are the quiet person, you're just that quiet person. You're just kind of minding your own business. You don't really play status games. You're not really into this petty shit that everybody else is doing. You kind of just mind your own business, do your own kind of thing. You're kind of just there, and you have a lot of kind of knowledge inside of your head that people don't really know about. These people that are around you that are like acting and stuff like this, that are pretending, like doing all this pretending and trying to act like they're these high up people or something like that, or they're trying to like gaslight you. You're nothing. Oh, who is that guy over there? Who is that girl over there? They're like underestimating you and stuff like that. When you're just that quiet person that just knows a lot, but you don't really show it outwardly, these people, they don't even know what you are. They don't even know like who you are. They don't know what you are at all. They can't even understand you at all. These people will never know you, guys. These people that you're around who are like these NPCs, these normie type people, they will never know you. They will never know you. They will never understand you, because all people see is what's on the outside. All people see is what you show outwardly. And so, when you're somebody who has done a lot of work on yourself, you're someone who's done a lot of reflection, you're someone who likes to think that you have a pretty decent understanding of the world and society and things and how life works, and you like to think that you have a certain level of wisdom, real wisdom, okay, not garbage that you see on TikTok or some crap like that. Or you kind of have your own way of thinking, you have your own way of understanding life and understanding reality and understanding this realm and understanding the world. In other words, you're an independent thinker. You think for yourself. You don't let the external world think for you or tell you how to think. You know how to think for yourself. A lot of people do not understand you. A lot of people do not understand what that even is. A lot of people have never even heard of that or seen anyone like that in their entire life. The reality is most people are so programmed by the damn system in the world that it's like they can't even fathom that you even exist, And listen, you used to be programmed too. You used to be just like them, but then you woke up somehow. So when you're awake in this world, it's going to make you not fit in a lot of times. It's going to make people not understand you. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of times it can be a good thing. And you carry yourself like that. You're kind of just a humble person. You're just kind of, that quiet individual who's just to themselves. You're not into all this egotistical garbage. A lot of people are intimidated by that. They're intimidated by someone who is just kind of themselves, because a lot of people in the world today are not themselves. They're just not themselves. They don't know how to be themselves. A lot of people are in kind of this survival mode, which is understandable. We all have to survive, but a lot of people's minds are kind of just in this direction, that direction. Like they're just distracted all the time. They're just, I'm on this app, I'm on that app, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Snapchat, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on this and that. And, my attention is just being pulled in every different direction and all this kind of stuff. And I don't even know who I am. Like, what the hell's even going on? This kind of stuff. These types of people that you're around a lot of times. When you're the opposite of that, you know what I mean? You're someone who knows who you are. You're confident. You're comfortable in your own skin. You carry yourself like that. You have self-respect for yourself. You have empathy for other human beings. You're not just all out for yourself and this sort of thing. Again, these people in this modern society, guys, they do not know what you are. They don't even know how to take you, that. So a lot of them will kind of distance themselves from you, or they'll kind of be saying little comments about you and little passive aggressive digs and stuff like this, and they think that it's like getting to you. They think that they think they're like doing something to you, when really you don't give a shit. You could not care less, Listen, if you're doing the right things in life, you're doing the right things in life, okay? And people that are not doing the right things in life, they're threatened by people who are. So if you're like a morally obligated person, you're someone who knows what real morality is. It's not. I'm not saying that you're like better than anybody. This is not superiority. You know what I mean? This is not like, oh, everybody's a peasant and I'm just amazing or something like that. You're not being cocky or arrogant about it. You're just being yourself. You're just to yourself. You just have a lot of knowledge inside of your head, right? That you don't express outwardly a lot of times. Stuff like that. You're on the right track. You're on the right track. You're doing the right thing. You don't need to be a person who like needs to prove everything to the world. You're trying to prove yourself to everybody. You have nothing to prove. You know who you are. You have nothing to prove. You're on the planet for a reason. You're on the planet you have maybe a mission or something like that in life that you're trying to do. You're just trying to live out your life, you know what I mean, in peace. You are on the right track, guys, and do not let people gaslight you. Do not let people around you in society make you think something about yourself that is not true, okay? If you know who you are, you know who you are, and that's great, all right? You guys know who you are listening. And something else that I've noticed on this journey, when you're that quiet person who knows a lot of these people, they don't even want you to talk. Like, whenever you talk, like, they can talk and say a bunch of garbage and dumb stuff out of their mouth all the time and just spew crap and stupid shit, that meaningless crap out of their mouth. But when you try to talk or give or express yourself or try to have a conversation or something like that, it's like they just want to shut you up. They don't even want you to talk because they know what you're going to say is going to just hit them right in the soul. You know what I mean? They know it. And a lot of people don't want to hear truth. A lot of people don't want to hear somebody that knows who they are talk, because it makes them reflect on themselves. If you're a very self-reflective individual, when you talk, your words have meaning. Your words have weight. The things you say mean something, and it affects other people. And so, yeah, a lot of these people, bro, out here, they don't even want to have a conversation with you. They don't even want you to talk. You can just tell on their body language. You can just see it on their face or in their facial expressions or their body language or their energy or whatever it is. Like, they're bothered whenever you open your mouth. You're probably someone who has a particular skill set in a particular area. You're someone who's very skilled. You're very intelligent. You're very smart. You're very capable, but you don't really show that to people. You kind of just have this inner knowing about yourself. Like, you know exactly what you're capable of. You know your worth. You know who you are, and can't nobody take that from you. You know what I mean? Even though there will be people who try to tell you who you are and all this kind of garbage. Guys, nobody can tell you who you are. Only you know who you are. All right. So yeah, just have that. You have the inner knowing. You know what I mean? Some people in life just have the inner knowing. Some people just have the knowing, and some people just don't. And look, it's not like you want bad things to happen to these people, or you have this vindictive mindset towards other people and everybody. It's like, no, not at all. You are just on your own path. You're just on your own path. You're on your own journey in life. And a lot of people are not. And so that's why they're so focused on everybody else. You're not focused on anybody else. You're focused on you. You're focused on what you're doing in life. And listen, I'm going to say this, but you already know this is true. I don't even have to say this. You listening already knows that this is true. Being that quiet motherfucker, you know what I mean? That knows what the hell's going on is very fun. It's very fun to be this type of person because, again, nobody knows who you are. Nobody can tell you who you are, even though there will be people around you. There will be scumbags. There will be garbage people around you who are going to be trying to tell you who you are and all this kind of stuff. It's never going to work. It's never going to work, guys. If you know who you are, you know your worth, nobody can take that from you. They don't know who you are at all, but you know exactly who they are. You can see exactly who someone is for exactly the person that they are, but they cannot say the same about you. And while all these clowns that are around you are doing all this posturing and thinking that they're so cool and stuff, they're so awesome and all this kind of shit, you don't need to do any of that kind of stuff. You don't need to do anything like that. Just keep being you, keep doing your thing. And again, you have nothing to prove. You don't need to try to act cool. because you just know who you are. You already are cool. If you are yourself, you're cool. Okay. You listening to this, you're probably a very cool person. You don't have to prove that you are. The quiet person oftentimes is very overlooked, very underestimated, but that's totally fine with you. You know, that's you're totally fine being underestimated. You're totally fine being overlooked because you don't need approval from the crowd. You don't need approval from anybody. You know what you're on earth to do. You know what you're doing in life, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? You don't have to do all this social conformity shit. You just don't. They're almost like freaked out by you in a way, because a person like you is not very common in the world today. You're actually a very rare type of person if you know who you are. And so when you speak, they like freak out internally. They're like, "Whoa, I didn't know he knew all that. I didn't know she knew all that. Wow. Holy shit." You know what I mean? They're like, "What the hell? Who is this person?" You know, they're like flabbergasted that even a person like you even exists. And guys, sometimes the outside world doesn't match the inside world. So you might be in a bad situation in life right now. You might not be where you want to be right now, but you know where you could be. You know where you eventually will be if you continue to go on this path of self-knowledge and self-understanding, guys, because a lot of people are not truth seekers. A lot of people are not willing to examine themselves. A lot of people don't really want to know who they are. A lot of people never even begin the journey of self-understanding and trying to figure out what this, what this system, what this life, what this reality is all about. A lot of people never even begin on that journey. So if you are someone who is a truth seeker, you're someone who is here to seek understanding and things like that. Listen, a lot of people are not that. A lot of people, especially in this modern society today, for whatever reason, a lot of people are just gone and lost and heads in the clouds and fucking, lost in space. You know what I mean? Like, so many people out here are just that way. So, guys, keep being that quiet person who knows what's popping. You know what I mean? Keep being that person who knows who you are. Keep being you. That's the message of the video. Keep being you, guys. If you're someone who watches my content or watches channels that are similar to this, you are someone who is like, you kind of just are on the low down. You know what I mean? You're making moves in your life that people don't know about, that you're not telling people what you're doing in life and stuff like this. That's the right way to be. You want to move in silence, guys. You want to be someone who is not really sharing everything online or you're telling everybody everything that you got going on in your fucking personal life and all this kind of stuff. Moving in silence is to me has always been the best way, and I've always been someone who kind of carries myself that way, and you guys are probably that way as well. The point is, guys, the point is, moving in silence in life is the right way to go. Okay. Maybe you just bought a house or something. Maybe you're in the gym. You have a really good physique. Maybe you read a ton of books. You do a ton of research on particular topics. You're very self-aware or something like that. You just have a lot of wisdom and knowledge inside of your head, and you just know that about yourself. A lot of people are not that way. A lot of people in this society are lost as hell. Okay, and a lot of people don't even know it, but. When you're the person who's not lost, you know exactly the trajectory that you're on in life. You're very comfortable with who you are. You like who you are. You like your life, and you're not out here trying to like prove stuff to everybody on social media or like seek validation or seek approval from the crowd and all this kind of shit that it seems like everyone else is doing. Listen. It feels good to be that kind of person, let me just tell you, because you have so much peace. You're so comfortable with everything. Of course, you go through trials and tribulations just like anyone else. You're probably someone who has gone through lots of trials and tribulations at a kind of a young age that forced you to grow, which is why you are the way that you are now, which is why you're so comfortable with who you are now. And listen, guys, I'm here to tell you, you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. Your life is exactly where you should be. Okay, where you are at in life right now is exactly where you should be. All right. So, yeah, guys, the quiet person, listen, the quiet person is always the person that knows the most, and nobody knows who you are, guys. Nobody knows what you're doing. They don't know what you are, and you want to keep it that way. You want to keep it that way, guys. Never forget, you're the universe. So that's the video. My name is John. If you guys like this sort of content, be sure to subscribe for more and leave a like on this one. I'll be doing a lot more stuff like this on the channel. So yeah, that's the video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.